The true story of the three little pigs. Everybody knows the true story of the three little pigs. Or at least they think they do. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. Let me introduce myself. I'm the wolf, Alexandra T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too. But like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. This is the real story. Way back, and once upon a time, I was making a birthday cake for my old dear granny. I had a terrible sneeze and cold. I ran out of sugar. So, I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now, this neighbor was a pig, and he wasn't too bright either. He had built this whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in his right mind will build a house out of straw? So, of course, the minute I knocked on the door, I fell right in. I didn't want to just walk into someone else's house. So I called, "Little pig, are you in?" No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar from my dear old granny's birthday cake. That's when my nose started to itch. I felt a sneeze coming on. Well, I huffed, and I snuffed. And I sneezed a great sneeze. And what do you know? The whole straw house fell down. And right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig. He had been home the whole time. So, I thought about it as a cheeseburger just lying there. Anyways, I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar. So, I went to the next neighbor's house. This neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not by much. He had built his house of sticks. I rang the bell on the stick house. Nobody answered. I called, "Hey, Mr. Pig! Mr. Pig, are you in there?" He yelled back, "Go away, wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin. Listen, I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed, and I snuffed, and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed. A great big sneeze. And you're not going to believe it, but this guy's house fell down just like his brother's. When the dust cleared, there was a second little pig. Knocked out. You wouldn't even believe it. Wolf's honor. Now you know food is going to spoil if you leave it out. And those pigs, they had a lot of food because they're pigs. You know, pigs eat a lot of food. So I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner. I had it again and again. Think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full. But my cold was feeling a little better. And I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother. He must have been the brains of the family, let me tell you, because he built his house of bricks. So I do what I normally do, what any gentleman would do, right? I go to the brick house. I knock on the door. No answer, right? So I called out, Hey, Mr. Pig, are you in? And do you know what that rude little pig answered? Get out of here, wolf. Don't bother me again. Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar, and he wouldn't give me even a little cup for my dear, sweet old granny's birthday cake. What a pig. I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when, I felt my cold coming on. I huffed, and I sneezed again. Then the third little pig yelled, "Hey, don't come around here again." Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fella, but when somebody talks about me like that and yells at me, I go a little crazy. But the pig called the cops, and the cops drove up, and of course I was trying to break down that pig's door. And the whole time, I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. They didn't know I had a cold. The pig didn't even bother to ask me. So, the rest, as they say, is history. The news reporters found out about what I had done. They figured a sick wolf going around to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. So, they jazzed up the story with all that huff and puff and blow your house down. They made me the big bad wolf. So that's it. That's the real story. I was framed. But I never did get that cup of sugar. So maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar? What do you say? All right, that's it. That's the end. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.